Hello, everyone. Welcome to Friday Night Live. I'm Peaceful Nick, the medium. Welcome to my wonderful friend, Jeffrey Peck, medium. How are you?
I'm amazing. Thank you so much for having me. And it's so great to see your pretty face again. It's been a
Oh, thank
while.
you. Yeah, I think we were supposed to go live together a few months ago, but we're just both, burning the candle at both ends.
But totally.
And yeah, it's been wonderful. I am incredibly grateful to be so busy that I can't see straight with my because I still am a astronomy professor still, so I'm doing that too. So
I'm glad you said that because I was thinking about you earlier and it's been so long since we've spoken about that. I wasn't sure if you had quit your day job and come, doing this full time yet or what. So,
well,
yeah.
there's a story. So this is what happened. I was fired from my day job after I moved to Florida because they have different rules here than in California.
I
In
remember that.
California,
Yep,
I worked at a
definitely.
Catholic school. They knew that I was a medium. Nobody said anything. Of course, it's illegal to fire someone for their spiritual beliefs federally. Moved to Florida. They call me in. They're like, "We found out you're a medium. Take down all your stuff." And I said, "I'm not willing to do that." And they said, "You're fired." Best thing that ever happened to me. And
Yeah.
then 6 months ago, I got an email. I wasn't looking for a day job because I'm too busy doing all this other stuff. I
Uh-huh.
got an email from a local college here looking for an adjunct astronomy professor out of the clear blue sky. And here I am. And I ignored it for about a week. And then I'm like, you know what? With the way the economy's going, I better keep a backup plan. It's good to have that in line. And hi,
Yeah.
everybody.
Hi, everybody.
We got Holly, Jane, Viv,
Tom.
Tom,
Oh, Tom. Hi, Tom. There's Bobby. Hey, Bobby.
Sunshine, Leah, Clowntown, Dakota. Is Bobby Sunshine or
Bobby is sunshine. Yes.
Sunshine? Hello, everyone. So here we are. What have you been up to, Jeffrey? What are you doing? Hi, Mandy. What are you doing? What's happening in you're in Northern California for
What's
everybody who doesn't
happening?
know.
Yeah, I'm still in Northern California. And I'm still doing my thing. It's changed a little bit. It's evolved. Whereas I was doing mostly online, a bunch of live streams. I used to do 2 to 3 a week over
I
this last,
remember.
yeah, this last year, over the last few years, actually. But yeah, this last year things started to shift and things started to change for me. And I had suddenly, like you just talking about, out of the blue, dropping out of the sky, spirit starts coming at me in another direction, and I'm supposed to be in front of people face to face. And I hadn't done that yet because I started doing this full time with COVID.
Yeah,
And
same.
then and then this last September things started to change. So now I've got gigs with Audbear's property out here in Napa, and I work events with the event coordinator out there with these big fabulous companies in San Francisco. I've done I worked a gig for Google. I mean, Google is getting a hold of me. They want me to come back with them in May.
Wow.
Yeah, and I've got clients that are flying us to their homes in other states, and we're doing mediumship events with friends and family, and it's changed everything in the most magnificent, most amazing way, because
Mm.
there truly is nothing like that face-to-face energy with spirit and the people who are witnessing the miracles of these messages and the healing right in front of them. Even if it's not for them, they're witnessing this healing happening for those with them in the room. And it's just like, oh, just next level. It's the most
Mm.
beautiful thing. So I've been doing that a lot, and now I have my I'm doing my own 2 events here in Tiburon. Next Saturday the 28th and March 7th, I'm doing my own events at Cine Lounge Tiburon, where it's just me solo, and me and spirit.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love every single bit of it.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
The energy is more intense in person. I did a psychic fair in Burlingame before I moved out of Northern California. Tier, just FYI. And I was like, because I was trained during COVID and all
Yes.
my readings were online for
Yes.
like 2 years, I was like, I don't know if I can do it in a noisy big ballroom at a
Oh yeah.
hotel. And boy, it was like,
Oh,
boom, spirit just comes right in. And it was, I was shocked myself.
it's I have same. I've shocked myself every time.
Mhm.
It's like, I've said this for 6 years now, and you've heard this, this. When we show up for spirit, spirit shows up for us, regardless of what setting we're going into. This, like you were just talking about, that chaos of the people running all over the place. That happened to me on Wednesday at this event that I did at the Auberge property at Solage. And they literally had me in the middle of a restaurant bar where everybody's drinking wine and socializing, and then coming to me when each person gets up. I was like amazed afterwards that we were able to literally focus so deeply with spirit and the person in front of us that none of that even matters. And
it's spirit is so beautiful like that. I want to say hi to a bunch more people who came in.
Yes.
Andy, Leah, Clown Town, Kathy, Subi, Sunshine, Lucille, Wisdom Seeker, Leah, Jan, Burke, Debbie.
Oh, Jan.
And I think I got Dakota, and Annie and Trent. So I think I got everybody. Thank you guys all for being here. If you don't know Jeffrey, please follow his YouTube and Facebook. And Laura. Hi, Laura. Welcome in. It's your first time here. We're glad you're here. I'm an evidential medium and I'm a scientist, and Jeffrey Peck is a medium extraordinaire and a million other wonderful talents.
Well, I'm not an astronomer. I like to look at the stars, but the math was too hard for me. I couldn't get through the math.
Well, that's why I got an astronomy degree and not a physics and astronomy degree. So I had to find a college that offered astronomy. I did take astrophysics, but I didn't take all of the physics. Like I took some physics, but not like all the physics. I do want to say that I've had a lot of stuff happen since we last went live together. I've been certified as an evidential medium through Mark Ireland and Helping Parents Heal.
Oh, yes.
And I did my first gallery reading for Helping Parents Heal last night, and I just enjoyed it so very much.
Well
it's a long
done.
process. It's a long, but it's so worth every second of it.
It absolutely is. I believe that.
I'm, I have so many things happening. I can't even think of all of them. I had a wonderful, incredible interview with Suzanne Giesman on my page. So if anybody loves Suzanne Giesman, go to my page. I've got less than a couple hundred views on it because YouTube be YouTubing.
Yes.
You know how, that should have thousands of views. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful conversation. So please go watch that interview. And then a week or two later, I interviewed Dr. Eben Alexander on my page. So again, only a couple hundred views. So please watch those, share them, because they're wonderful conversations. I learned so much in the hour I talked to Suzanne, I can't even tell you. And then the same thing with Eben, with Eben, it was science. With Suzanne, it was mediumship. And everything kind of did. So I've been really when 2025 hit, I was like, it's the year of collaboration. I'm going to collaborate with as many people as I can. And so I'm continuing that into 2026.
I love this.
Because we need each other.
Yes, we do.
We need each other. We can't just be out here alone trying to figure out this world. This world is crazier than it's ever been.
It's true. We're so much better together. And it's right now the temperature and the barometer out there is not, it's opposite of that, where people don't believe that we are better together. And we need to get that word out there and find a way to bring us back together on the same page, because it's tough out there right now.
Hate is a cry for love, and we're not going to get through this unless we vibrate at the highest level, which is love and gratitude. And I can tell you that I'm a pretty realistic person, and I've had some trauma in my life, some pretty severe trauma. I have CPTSD, if that tells you anything.
Oh yeah, I understand that.
The least terrible thing that happened to me is I was downtown in San Francisco on October 17th, 1989 by myself.
Okay.
At 5:04 p.m. Remember that? The big earthquake.
Yes.
That was the least traumatic thing that happened to me. So there was a big earthquake, for those of you who don't know. It was very big and terrible. The Bay Bridge broke, so if that tells you anything. But I am absolutely shook by these files. And my podcast this morning, the Soul Twin Stars podcast, was about how do we deal with this? How do we, not any content, we don't discuss any content that's in the files, because you can find that anywhere else. We don't need to tell, it's everywhere, right? So if you watch it, you're not going to hear any sort of details. I'm not going to talk about it. But what do we do to go forward? I had to unfollow some content creators that just started showing pictures. And I'm like, no trigger warning, just a picture of something horrific. And I'm like, no, I can't follow you. I don't want to see that. I know enough.
Yeah, that's hard. Like when you don't get a trigger warning and suddenly that's in your consciousness, and like you can't unsee that.
Right.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. And then it just keeps you up at night, and you try to meditate, you ask spirit. And that does help when I ask spirit, listen, please let me get some sleep. I have a very busy schedule tomorrow, or whatever, don't let me fall asleep with these bad images in my head. I do that, and it does help. Spirit's pretty cool like that. Clown Town said, I was testing you to see if you could say my actual name. Let's see. Viv said, don't forget to hit that like button. Please hit the likes, share, subscribes if you enjoy this content. Hi, Alma. Gina, hello. Laura said, congratulations. I was on the Helping Parents Heal last night. Amazing messages. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's well done. I mean, you should be proud of that. That's awesome.
It was a process that I told my husband, look, nobody can come over, which was rare because we're pretty old and boring, but just there will be no noise.
Yes.
You can't stream anything because I need all the bandwidth.
Yes.
And nothing loud, just everything has to be calm until afterwards. Then you can do whatever you want.
Yes.
I need to be very calm and listen to Hemisync and just, because I did all my test readings, because you have to do 5 test readings, blind test readings. And I'm like, I have to be in the right headspace, because it's nerve-wracking.
Oh, absolutely.
And so, so I'm just beyond grateful to the whole organization, just to be able to help people who need it the most, parents.
Completely. I refer people to Helping Parents Heal all the time.
Yeah.
I've had a few people ask me to come on and be medium, but I haven't just taken the time to go through that testing yet.
It takes a long time.
Yeah.
And and there's so many amazing mediums that could do it, but not a lot of mediums know about it. Like I didn't know anything about mediumship before I became a medium. I knew nothing. And so my friend Kathy, who I went through development with, she's taught me almost everything. I'm like, Kathy, I don't know this stuff. Like, I have no idea what this is or what this organization is. Like, I literally am just flailing here. I don't know. So she helps me and gives me the intel, which is good. And then when I meet other mediums and we collaborate, that really helps too.
Yeah.
Because, when you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
And who has time to Google things like, like that? Let's see. Dakota Celt said, oddly have an understanding of British history that has shocked a few people. All right. I think I may have missed a part of that comment.
I think I did too.
Clowntown says the collective will rise.
I believe that.
Creative Chick says happy Friday. The Garden Mystic. I watched both interviews. They were terrific. Thank you so much. Hi, Evan.
Evan.
I think that's your mod. Oh, Evan. Oh, Evan DC 65. Okay. It's hard when it's all squished together. It's hard to tell what it is. He's your mod, I presume. Michelle, Mybelle, hello. Sandra, hi, Sandra. How are you? I haven't seen you in a while. Laura said, it's the best group. Even therapy doesn't help me with the grief I've experienced after losing my son to a senseless murder. Helping parents heal is a blessing. They have so many resources. So if you are a parent watching this live or on replay, helpingparentsheal.org, their website is full of resources and wonderful mediums and other type of healing modalities and just information and just wonderful, truly wonderful organization. Jan, hello. Carrie V, I love the HPH group. It's helped me so much on my grief journey. Nick, you played a big part by being in your mediumship class. Thank you, Carrie. Did you change your screen name or did you come over from Facebook? Dakota and Dawn. Hi, Dawn. Okay, so Jeffrey, how do you deal with the news cycle? What do you do?
You know what? I don't pay attention to the news cycle. I stopped watching the news years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I recommend that to everybody.
I can't. It's too stressful for me. It lights me up, and I can't sleep. It gives me anxiety. But you can't help see the big stuff. Like this in January I think it was January with Pretty and Renee Good, right? Like, heartbreaking and traumatic, overwhelmingly traumatic. And it makes my stomach drop, right? It's just like, it's gotten to a place where it's just so unbelievably out of control. And we have to rise. We have to rise. We have to use our voices. It's time. We can't sit back any longer. I'm not an activist, but it's gotten to the point where I'm like, we have to do something about this.
Right.
It's overwhelming.
And it's by design.
It is by design.
It's overwhelming by design.
Absolutely. They want us divided.
Yeah. Well, they want our senses so overwhelmed. Yeah. They don't know about I don't know if you're Gen X or not, but I'm Gen X.
Mm-hmm.
I can drive a stick and surf the internet and read cursive. I can multitask and do 10,000 things and organize 10,000 things at a time. And a lot of Gen Xers are that way. We are the greatest generation as far as I'm concerned. And we've been to therapy and we believe in therapy. Boomers didn't. So that's why we're better. So somebody in the chat somewhere along the line today said we need to not just, ignore it. It's not that we're ignoring what's happening. We're not allowing ourselves to be overwhelmed by the news cycle. You don't need to watch the news to understand and know what's happening.
No.
I have a couple of creators I will watch for a few minutes a day, and that's all I need to know. I keep up with all the information, but I don't need to know the sordid details and see the images from those files. I knew what was happening 10 years ago, 11 years ago now. In 2015, when I read a lawsuit that was filed by a 12 and 13-year-old girl against you know who, where he did you know what to them. And I should have never, I've had nightmares about that paperwork ever since then. I should have never read it. People knew for decades what type of person he was. We've known that, but because of the videos and the pictures and the bribery, here we are. And
Yeah.
God only knows what happened with the election machines. That's a whole other version of, so we can't let it overwhelm our senses.
No.
So we have to be smart, and we have to organize, and we have to decide, what do we do next? Now, what do we do? Hopefully voting in this year will hopefully that will help. Hopefully we'll get to vote. Hopefully we all don't have to have a passport to vote. Hopefully women will still be able to vote. Because I have my husband's last name. And so they're trying to pass that law where
yes, I read that somewhere.
Yeah. Your driver's license has to match your birth certificate. I have my birth certificate and my marriage license. So
it's crazy.
I'm prepared to get any paperwork I need to make sure my vote counts, but will our votes count? Mm-hmm. So we have to get organized, stay aware, but don't allow the news cycle to make you so distressed that you become depressed and anxious and sleepless. Because there was a couple weeks before this eclipse that I wasn't sleeping more than an hour at a time.
Oh, I understand that.
And I wasn't watching the news. It's just the little bits and pieces I saw. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we do have to get organized and get a plan together.
Completely. Speaking of where you do get that information, the one gal that I absolutely watch almost every day, just for a few minutes, is Monty Mater on Instagram, and she is spectacular.
Monty or Monty? M-A or
M-O-N-T. I think it's Monty Mater. She's just incredible, and she's got an incredible way of communicating. She is fiery. She is wow, she's just amazing. She used to be a Christian nationalist, so she knows all of the insides of what their agenda is and how they have gotten to where they are today. And she comes back with, she's amazing. Anyway, so I hear a lot of what's going on through her.
Yeah, I watch, I follow Chasing Oz and Aaron Parnas. I was watching iHip News every day, multiple times a day, but it got too much. I love those ladies, nothing against them. I'm just really sensitive, and I can't listen to the negativity all the time.
No.
Like, the information they're sharing is important, but I have to have it a little more monotone, I'll say.
Yeah.
They're wonderful. Love them. Recommend them if you can handle it, but I just can't. Midas Touch as well. Dakota said, trust your gut. Wisdom Seeker said, just the thought of women not being allowed to vote is absurd, right? I love the Christian nationalists who want just one vote per household, only the man. They're scared when they try to come up with that kind of stuff.
Honestly.
And the funny thing is, and you're a man, so I'd love your input. The men who are heterosexual men who are mad that they can't get a woman and they want a traditional woman who will, cook and clean and work and take care of the kids. It's like, those days are over, right? If you are a man who can make $500,000 a year and pay for the 10 kids you want me to have, and a nanny and a maid, and a nanny for each kid and a maid, and pay for everything, that's one thing. But if you're making 50 grand and you want me to stay home and eat ramen, you got another thing coming. Like, I told my husband when we got married, I'm willing to have 2 kids, and that's it, period. That is it. I am not having more. Don't even ask. And if I did get pregnant again, I would have, you know what? Because I was only having two.
Mm-hmm.
I only had two. And I made sure I only had two because I still want to have a life. I'm 55. My kids are grown. They're both married, got one granddaughter, another one on the way. They are happy. They both own their homes that they bought themselves without our help because we told them, you got to work. They worked from the time they could work and saved their money, bought their own cars, everything. We're like, we're teachers. We were teachers. We were high school teachers at the time. We can't buy you a house or give you a down payment. So they figured it out, luckily. And, you know, if you teach them the right thing, you can only hope they're going to do the right thing.
Truth.
So what do you think the problem is?
Oh my God, honey.
With all these men who want these trad wives.
So many to list. Yeah, it's just bizarre. I mean, like, what timeline did we end up on, and how did this happen?
I know.
Like, it's just mind blowing. And you know what? Let me say first, I do not operate from a place of fear. I do not operate from a place of intense anxiety over all this that's happening. I do my best to make sure that I remain present and trusting in spirit and wondering, and just knowing, that this is all happening for a reason. This is happening for us to wake up. Yes.
The pendulum goes one way and it goes the other way.
But if we don't come together, it's going to take a massive tragedy for us to finally come together.
Right.
The only time we come together is after tragedy. Think of 9/11. I mean, all the people, everybody forgot about red and blue and religion and whatever. Everybody came together. Mm-hmm. And that's the only time we do come together is after tragedy. And at this point, the temperature is bubbling so hot.
Hate.
What is that going to look like?
Yeah, it's hate.
And you just
hate is fear.
Yeah, but you can't fight hate with hate. We know that.
Nope. Exactly.
And
what you resist persists, as Eckhart Tolle says.
Yeah.
What you resist, and I truly believe we're in this situation because of, I know we call it the resistance, but I truly believe the pushing back the way we have against all of this crazy stuff is what has caused it to be stronger. Because the constant news coverage of this person and his administration and his antics and the constant chaos, everybody talks about it 24 hours a day. Mm-hmm. For the last 10 years, 11 now, constant. Why is he? What is he? Yeah, you're making it worse. You're feeding it. You're feeding even the nighttime talk show hosts who I love. I can't watch them because it's all they talk about. And I said it before the 2016 election, they're helping him win because all they do is talk about how crazy he is. They're trying to resist, but are they? Is this designed this way? Do you think there's a design? Do you think this is all set up?
Yeah, absolutely. The truth of the matter is we wouldn't be experiencing this if we didn't need this. Because what I know is what is meant for us will never pass us by.
Agreed.
And vice versa. So we are in this because we need this. We are in this because we've come so far apart from each other. We are in this because so many people, they still operate, they operate from the place of separated. And the truth of the matter is we are all connected in ways that we can't even wrap our brains around.
That's right.
And that's where we have to come back to. We have to find our way back to that. I love somebody in here wrote, I can't quite see it now, it's moving, but somebody wrote something about the new earth, and that's Dolores Cannon talked a lot about that with all of her work, with the hypnosis she did over the decades. Oh, bless her heart, she was ahead of her time, and she wrote what, 25 books or something about it, detailing all of these hypnosis sessions she did. And they're talking about the, like, energetically the earth splitting in two, and that part, the one side is going to the staying in the 3D, as where we are now, the 3D space of duality, and the other side going to the 5D, where we all operate from the heart center.
Right.
And it's and the polarity and the it's just palpable. It's palpable.
Right. And Eckhart Tolle's book that I was quoting from is called A New Earth.
Oh, yeah. That Eckhart Tolle. Yeah. He's brilliant too.
His book changed my life. My niece Mandy, who's on here, she gave me that book in 2014, before I ever even really knew what mediumship was. Like, I wasn't even on my radar. And it was the catalyst that propelled me into my spiritual awakening. I read in 1994, I read James Redfield,
yes,
The Celestine Prophecy.
Oh yeah, that was my first one that got me, like, ping, 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 ping. Yep.
Same. And I told everybody I knew about it. I bought that book for so many people. You got to read this book. You got to read this book. It's so amazing. So amazing. Then I got married, and then I had my kids. And then in 2014, my niece gave me that book. So, 20 years later, but that book stuck in and that's why I only had 2 kids, because it said that in that book. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was why. And I met my husband literally right after I read that book. I met my husband. Literally, like January of 95 is when we met. And I said, I'm only having 2 kids because of that book, which is reasonable, for somebody who wants to do stuff besides change diapers for the rest of their life, which is not fun. So yeah. And then A New Earth. And that was just like, everything exploded from there. Everything exploded. As far as my spiritual journey. Let's see. Hypnicity, hello, said everything happens when it's supposed to. Laura said, I think all this Epstein stuff is happening to divert us from something bigger. Look, let me just say something. I cannot, my reality has been shaken. Like I said earlier, I'm pretty realistic, but some of the stuff that's in those files, I am literally shocked by. And I'm not shocked easily. And my whole reality, especially the people in it, and like what? Like what? Like what? Like I can't even wrap my head around it. It's like I never imagined some of those things. And I saw them by accident. That's why I stopped following those creators. I saw enough to know, oh my God. So, and Jan said, right, if they stop giving him attention. Exactly. I hope we're still streaming. I haven't seen it come. Oh, here it comes.
Yeah, we're still streaming. Yeah.
Mandy said, what do you think about Deepak Chopra being in the files? Well, I will tell you something. I have a very good friend who worked for him for a long, long time. And she told me 20 years ago that he was a womanizer and not a very good person. And I thought, there's no way, she's exaggerating. Well, I did see somebody sent me the some of those emails, and I'm like, what do I think about it? Again, my reality is like, I don't even know what's real anymore. I just don't. Like, I watch TV and now I'm like, I don't even, are all these people in there? Are all these people? I had my, a friend of mine yesterday said that all the big stars whether they're famous for no reason or famous for music or famous for movies, they all have to go through an initiation ritual through this nefarious organization. I'm like, what? What? What?
Mhm.
What? And I can't even, I don't even know. But you're right. I do trust spirit. I know there's a reason all of this is being revealed. I understand that there is a dichotomy right now of people who are stuck firmly in 3D and they're just stuck to it. And not all souls are meant to evolve in this lifetime.
True. I mean, that's a soul plan too. I mean, that, you know, we plan this, we plan our lives, we plan this incarnation, and that's one of the plans too. You know what? I'm going to go through this in life, and I'm going to be fast asleep the entire time.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make life hell for a lot of people.
A rest life. Yeah, a rest life.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I read about that in Journey of Souls.
Mm-hmm.
Highly recommend for anybody who wants to learn more about mediumship.
Michael Newton.
Yep. I have it right. I have all my books right here. Mm-hmm. Keep them close by.
Great book.
Annie said, I knew the world could be a dark place. I never would have guessed how effing dark it's been. Same. I knew there was crazy stuff that happened. I knew the powers that be have done very terrible things, but I never would have ever imagined that it was like that. But everything being revealed, I think the first round of this administration revealed a lot to us. I thought racism and misogyny was over 10 years ago. And my husband goes, he goes, girl,
no.
I just was naive. I grew up in the Bay Area. So everybody loves each other. When in the 90s, 80s and 90s, everybody loved each other, right? Everybody was all mixed together and everybody was happy. I didn't know there was such a thing as a trad wife or a Christian nationalist or any. I just thought it was over. I was just naive. I was just naive. And now I'm really like, what? We have to stop putting known figures on a pedestal. Yep. Marcela Cervantes wants to know, will New Mexico make more progress than the DOJ? I know one sentence about New Mexico, something about a house or a farm or something with possible burials, and that is the extent of my knowledge. If the state's investigating it, I would say they'll probably get more answers than the DOJ will give. The DOJ has the answers. They just aren't going to release them. They know everything. They're just not going to tell anybody right now. What do you know about the New Mexico thing? Yeah. It apparently was another property owned by Epstein.
Yeah, no.
I don't know anything about it. I am avoiding it.
I just wonder how it could. Like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I wonder how it could change anything, because there's already so much that's been exposed and nobody's doing anything. Nobody's holding these people accountable. Yeah. So what is this property you're talking about in New Mexico? How's that going to change anything?
They say there's bodies buried there from young people that
they would still make an excuse. They'd be like, no, they're,
because you can't prove who did it.
Exactly.
And do you think Nancy Guthrie will be found? What do you think about that story?
Nancy, poor thing. That is the most bizarre thing. I mean,
very
started like Savannah, is that her name? Savannah or Samantha?
That's the daughter. Savannah's
yeah,
the daughter.
so Savannah, I mean, she's not a Gates, she's not a Jobs, she's not a Musk, you know, like why her mother? Like what?
So weird. And just all of the delay in the video. Why did it take 2 weeks for the door cam thing? That doesn't make, and the letters and the crypto, and it to me sounds like an inside job. But I know very little. I just think the whole thing is strange. It's an odd person to kidnap. It's an odd person to kidnap. Why wouldn't they take her daughter? She's more famous. Like, if you're going to take somebody for ransom, take the one that's on TV, not the 84-year-old woman. It's weird.
I mean, it's totally weird. And I mean, not everybody, but a bunch of people have Nest doorbell cameras. Yeah. So all the way up and down that street, and the streets parallel and all, you know, all over the place, perpendicular. Where are the cameras? Where's somebody had to have seen a shady vehicle, or just, I mean, at the time stamp, like where's all that?
Yeah. Well, and why did it take 2 weeks for them to release that footage of their own door cam with the flowers on? I mean, it's just, none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense. Did you see the interview she did with the Orange Mussolini? She was pretty tough, and some say it's revenge for that interview. I hope not. No, I try not to watch the Orange Mussolini, as my son calls him, Fanta Hitler. If anybody remembers what Fanta is, I don't know if that's still a thing. I try not to look at him at all. I can't take it. I skip it as much as possible.
Yeah, hit my phone. I've not heard that. That is funny.
That's good.
Orange Mussolini.
Oh, Savannah interviewed some of the survivors. See, I didn't know that because I don't watch the stuff. Narcissist sheriff on the ego trip. I'm in Arizona. He's a horrible man. Oh, Annie said that. Well, they're not doing their job right if it's taking this long to get any information.
Oh.
So I don't, it's weird. It's weird. How did you, yeah, he does make my skin crawl too. How did you become a medium, Jeffrey? Shifting gears.
Oh my gosh. You know, well, it didn't start when I was a kid. It's not a lifelong thing for me. In 2006, so my mother, my grandmother, my aunt, they've all struggled with fibromyalgia, degenerative disc disease, osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis. I mean, the list goes down. I mean, from my grandma to my mom and my aunt. And in 2006, I went to have a massage on Labor Day, last minute. And as spirit would have it, synchronicity happens. And I end up with this lady massage therapist who within 15 minutes says, I think I need to do Reiki on you. And I was like, huh, okay, cool. What's Reiki? Yeah. And so she said, it's this energy modality, it's healing modality that heals on, you know, every level, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically. And I'm like, okay, cool, let's do it. And so she takes her hands off of me, and I can feel that her hands are behind my head as I'm lying there on the massage table. But I started to feel waves of heat, and I started to feel waves of what felt like static electricity. And at times it felt like there were 10,000 butterflies flapping their wings so close to my skin, but not touching my skin. And I was like, what is happening here? It was so mind-blowing to me. And so she was just explaining to me that it's just the energy that's flowing through our body, and you're feeling it. You might probably extra sensitive to it. And anybody can do this. We just need to find a Reiki master. And I was like, wow. So I was thinking, well, nothing the doctors have done for my grandmother, my mother, my aunt, none of the treatments touched the chronic pain.
Right.
So I thought, well, what do we have to lose? I'm going to find a Reiki master. So I came home from that massage, went right to the Google, And I looked for a Reiki master, and there was one a mile away from me. So I started on November 11th, 2006. And the side effect for me over that first weekend was it literally blew open all the spiritual senses all at once, wide
Wow.
open. And she had asked me, my Reiki master teacher, she said, I'd like you to sit with yourself every day for the first 30 days and give yourself a treatment and just let the energy teach you. Feel the energy, get to know the energy. And so I did. Every day I'd go into my walk-in closet that was like a beautiful cocoon to me. And I was, sitting there with my hands in the spots you're supposed to have your hands and giving myself a Reiki treatment. And I was seeing things and hearing things and feeling things. And it was so palpable. It was so real, but yet it felt like I was dreaming. But I knew if I was sleeping, I would have tipped over because I was sitting there, with my legs crossed and have my, if I fell asleep, I would drop.
Right.
But I was not sleeping. So after about 2 weeks of that, I talked to my Reiki master and I told her what I was experiencing. And she just smiles all peacefully. And she says, you're opening up to spirit. She said, you're going to be a channel one day. And I said, no, I'm not. And she said, yes, you are. And I said, no, I'm not. And she said, yes, you are. And I said, no, I'm not. Back in 2006, my definition of channel was Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks, where Esther stands in front of an audience of people and she kind of goes into this conscious trance where basically her own consciousness is in the back seat of her vehicle. And spirit, Abraham, this collective consciousness, has the wheel. And that's who's speaking all of this brilliant spiritual speak. And I was like, that's not going to be me. And she said, well, you need to change your definition of the word channel then. And obviously what I've come to learn since in the last 20 years is, what we do as mediums, we're channeling. What we're doing with, as Reiki practitioners, we're channeling the energy. What we're doing when we're doing psychic readings, we're channeling. So yeah, she was right. I did need to change my definition of the word channel, but yeah, that's what happened. And I started doing Reiki treatments on people, and suddenly the room was full of people in spirit, and I just knew, and I suddenly felt like I couldn't hold it back anymore, and I had to start talking. And I was spontaneously doing these evidential mediumship readings during Reiki treatments, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I was just talking, So that's how it started. And then it just started to build and develop and build. And when you've got the calling, spirit will knock on the door, and if you don't answer, they're going to the back door. And if you don't answer, they're going to the windows, they're going to the sliding glass door. If you're hiding behind the couch saying, shh, pretend we're not here. Shh, we're not here. Yeah, they're going to keep calling and calling and calling. And that's what happened. I was like, okay, fine. All right. I answered the phone. I answered the call. I knew what I was supposed to do. I had one last muggle job to get through that got me through the end of 2018. And I knew this is what I was supposed to do ever since. So that's how it happened.
That's funny. My first experience was January of 2019.
Oh, wow.
I think right before COVID and during COVID, there was like a mass awakening. I want to ask you something about that story is incredible. I want to ask you, you mentioned channeling and mediumship. I was asked by a podcaster a couple weeks ago about channeling an alien, and he has asked me that before. And I was like, I don't know because of my astronomy background. And then I really thought about it, and my advisor said, you should do it. And so I did it. But he kept saying, is channeling different than mediumship? I'm like, listen, I'm not a fan of labels, right? Yeah. I'm not a fan of labels. We're talking to the collective consciousness. I know 100% for a fact aliens in this universe exist. There is no time in the universe. I may be talking to an alien from 1 billion years ago, 1 billion light years away. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. That consciousness is sentient just like ours is. So it doesn't matter if they live under the ocean here, if they live on the moon, or if they live on Alpha Centauri. It doesn't matter, or the Andromeda Galaxy.
Truth.
So people want to put it in a box. Are you channeling? Are you doing mediumship? What do you think about the labels?
Well, as human beings, we identify separately. We identify individually. We are not wired and programmed to identify as a collective. We have fingerprints where nobody else has a fingerprint like us. We have our looks, we have doppelgangers out there, obviously, that resemble us, but our identity is very individual. So we are consciously wired to think and believe that we are separated from each other and everything. So we have created this, because we're in this 3D world where it is the world of duality. We do have labels and boxes for everything that we experience. So the more and more we become aware, and the more that our spiritual awareness expands, we start to recognize how it is all connected. And that's why I just had this conversation with you about channeling. It's all channeling. It's all channeling.
That's why I wanted to ask you your opinion.
Yeah, it's all channeling. And the aliens, 100%. Some of us are channeling aliens here. That's becoming more and more. It's becoming more and more known that, to more and more people watching these channels who are bringing through this information from aliens. And just like any channel, just like any psychic, just like any medium, we have to think for ourselves. We have to remember our own, cognitive awareness and be realistic. If something doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Maybe one day, suddenly, as we do continue to expand, that's one of the things that I always have recognized really more in the last 9 years, is that even on this path, we have to give ourselves grace and room to expand and recognize that probably 10 years down the road, my beliefs are going to be shifted, and I'm going to have different awareness that is going to take what I believe today to a completely different level, or not at all, and that's.
I agree with that. I think we've all shifted. Just think from 2006 to 2026, how much you shifted.
Holy mackerel.
I mean, that is an incredible story. I have a student, I think she's watching, or she was earlier, and she had a spontaneous spiritual awakening. She's actually in the Bay Area too. And she's one of my annual mentees. And I'm like, and she had this huge spontaneous awakening, and we had some classes together. And then she's like, but then it stopped. And I'm like, well, you can't just go full throttle all the time, right? Like once you started doing your Reiki sessions in your closet, you didn't go full throttle for the next 20 years. You'd have been lost in space somewhere.
And that's part of the path. That's absolutely part of the path. And I remember thinking that years and years and years ago, 15 years ago. And you feel like you don't feel the energy anymore. And all of a sudden you feel like it's quiet. And like, what did I just imagine the last 5, 6, 7 years? Was that all a dream? But what I've noticed, especially in this last 7 years, as I've been going consciously all day, every day, with spirit and developing in the way that I have, those periods of quiet, that's just a pause. Those pauses are meant to give ourselves a rest, a little bit of a clear out the belfry. We're going to we just need a little of a break, because what's happening is we're being leveled up in that pause. Right. We're getting ready to go to the next level.
It's exactly what I told her. I said, don't be afraid. The pause is the shift. I have an oracle card that says that the pause is the shift.
The pause
we have to rest, or our system, our little tiny human brain can't manage all of that energy. Yeah. That's why it can feel so overwhelming to have all that come in. Like when you were feeling the tingling and you were doing the Reiki and you had all the spirits come in, it's overwhelming.
Yeah, totally.
So we do need to pause. Our bodies need to rest. Resting, I swear I get more work done when I'm resting than when I'm working. I just feel like that's how it works for me.
Yeah.
Tons of comments. Jan loves the labels question. Yeah, defining with labels is just very hard for me. I'm not a putting things in a box person at all. Wendy said, hello, Wendy. Hypnicity, keep an open mind. Yes. Wisdom Seeker said, yes, the student's present. Garden Mystic is nodding along with both of us. Dakota said it's hard living in an area where they're still 3D. Oh yes, I have some friends and family members on here that are living in a 3D world. We all live around people in the 3D. No matter if you live in my favorite place, San Francisco. I've not mentioned that before. Or New Mexico, or Cincinnati, or Chicago. It doesn't matter. Not everybody's spiritually awakened, no matter where you are.
But you know what? Even when we are spiritually awakened, there are still days where we live in the 3D. Yeah. I mean, I have really bad days sometimes, and I'm just like caught up in the BS of life and the fear of, oh my God, the landlord said she's selling the house. Now we have to move. And I start to spiral on my insides, as opposed to doing what I know to do. And my beautiful partner has to remind me all the time, honey, trust, yeah. Breathe, have faith. You know, Spirit's going to take care of us. I know that, but then I can easily slip right back into that 3D pattern. Absolutely. Yeah. You know, it's just so easy. It's because we're just humans, and we're just getting through it. You know, that's why we need each other so badly. We just need each other. We're all getting through this pause together. Yeah.
Evan said, read your tattoo. So you must have some reminders. And I love your woo-woo hat.
Thank you. This is my friend Stephanie Lyra's company. Everybody go to the woo-woo world on Instagram.
I will. Does she sell like tattoos? Little fearlessly surrender? I love that. Surrender fearlessly. Wow. Nice and bold font.
I need the reminder. That's why I did. I need the reminder. Thank you.
Look, I have my 3D moments. It helps that I work from home. It helps a lot because I'm a very delicate, sensitive person. I get, and the more I work, the longer I work from home, the more sensitive I am to other people's energy, because I have my own little rhythm, right? And then you go to the grocery store and you're like, we had to go to the grocery store tonight. And it was at 4:00 in the afternoon on a Friday. Can you imagine the parking lot, right? It's like, what is happening? You know, the 3D world is like, whoa, there's still people out here. They're not living in this peaceful Zen, calm. I have my coffee and I have my little scented oils. My plants. They're like, get that parking spot. Oh my God, I got to get my chicken strips or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh,
yeah,
there's two people out here. So Cindy said that's profound. So she must love your tattoos. That's awesome. So yeah, just as we're wrapping up the hour here, I could talk to you all night long about all of this stuff. We need each other. I say it all the time on my live streams. We need each other, period. And there are a lot of people right now who are realizing not everybody, but there's a lot who are realizing they were, you know how Anakin Skywalker was tricked by Darth Sidious? Yeah. And the Emperor into thinking he could revive Padme. He was tricked by the dark side of the Force, right? And a lot of people are realizing they were tricked by the dark side of the Force, metaphorically, right? Well, actually, it's real, right? I say, you know, look, I have my little Rey doll here. She's back here. She's got all the Jedi behind her. Awesome. But they will need a soft place to land without judgment. And it is hard. It is hard when you've tried to tell your people, look, this is crazy. Don't you see the reality? But rejecting them and judging them because they were tricked and fooled is not the answer. Saying,
No.
stay over there, you're stupid. That's not the answer. The answer is, I welcome you with love, but you have to be honest. You can't cross my boundaries, and you have to be
Yeah.
respectful.
Healthy boundaries. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's necessary.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we just need to put on the lens of compassion with these people, because we wake up
Right.
when we're supposed to wake up.
Yes. And sometimes we're not supposed to wake up.
And seriously, I mean, we are really doing the best we can with what we have until we wake up and we're like, wait a minute. And through that awakening comes that period where you recognize how you've really got to take accountability and responsibility for your own piece, for your own part, for your own actions, for your own words, for your own thoughts. And you recognize, okay. But in doing so, you start to see the reflection in others. And then the lens of compassion starts to roll out. And you're like, oh, I'm that. Yep, I'm that. I get it. Yep, I'm that. I did that. Oh, yeah, I get it. But we've got to see each other through that lens of compassion.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only answer. The only way through this is together and compassion. Someone asked real quick, do you see spirits around other people? I've asked my guides not to show me spirits outside of my head, but I do see them and feel them around people all the time. I do have a boundary. I do not give readings in public randomly ever. I actually had someone ask me to do that in a park the other day. Like, I don't do that, but here's my website. Because his mother was there. I could feel her, and he asked me about it. But I do feel them, and I do have boundaries up, but sometimes they just come through very intensely, and you just, have to ask them to pull their energy back and say, make it possible when it's the right time.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, it's an ethics thing. Like, I will never walk up to anybody anywhere. And I do, like you said, I feel their people. I can sense and feel, and I can, yeah. But you don't know where that person is in that grieving process. You don't know where, you know how many times too, Nick, where those people in spirit need to come through with this massive apology and acknowledge the abuse that they put them through, and how they left them in all of this pain, and they want to apologize. And oh my God, if you just walked up to somebody who wasn't even ready for that, oh my God, you're going to throw somebody right into trauma. So no, to me, it's an ethics thing, and I will never do that.
I absolutely agree. That's the exact same reason. If you have a parent who lost their child yesterday to unaliving themselves, and you're going to go up and give them a reading,
no,
that is no. That is not the time. That is not the place. That parent needs to grieve and feel the three-dimensional things, for sure. So yeah, we feel them. We just don't act on it. It's just not. When somebody wants to book a reading, the medium will show up in their newsfeed or something. Dakota's never seen Star Wars. Okay, listen. I don't have time to address that.
You said the wrong thing.
Start with episode 4 and just figure it out from there.
Oh, Dakota.
Let's see. Their hearing makes going to movies hard. They have, if you have Disney Plus, they have all the captions. I can hear, and I put the captions on because I'm, miss things because I'm getting older. Carrie said you should feel comfortable walking up to someone and asking. No. That's a no. Any ethically developed medium knows that is not the case. And there are people on TV that do that.
Yep.
That has got to be, they have to sign a release. That is not a cold reading. They just make it look like it's a cold reading. Guaranteed, those are not cold readings. If they are, I'd be very disappointed. Jeffrey, Have a lovely weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Carrie
much.
said I would. Well, Carrie, good luck. I hope that you don't damage anybody irrevocably. Jeffrey, have a good weekend. Thank you. We will, try to, meet in a couple months.
I would love to. I would absolutely love to. I love hanging out with you. As you can tell, I'm not very good at talking about anything political or conspiracy stuff. My friend texts me and she says, "You're not very good at this political and conspiracy stuff." No, I'm not. But as you can tell, we talk about anything spiritual and I won't shut up.
Well, I tried to shift it because I could tell you weren't into it. And really, I don't know that much about it either because I'm ignoring it too. So I know enough, and that's all I need to know. You are welcome. Dakota, I know they're not all closed caption, honey, but the ones on Disney Plus are because I watch them on closed caption. So I hope it's okay if you don't want to watch it. Thank you, Marphil, new viewer. We are actually winding up right now. Our websites, all of Jeffrey's website and information is in my show notes as well as all my stuff. We'll chat later, Jeffrey. Thank you, everyone. We are sending love and peace and healing to everyone. Build a community, do the right thing, stay away from bad news, only listen to what you have to. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.